In this video I'll be showing you 5 key stretches for cyclists which you can complete in around 5 minutes. So the first stretch is for the hip flexors, and starting off in a kneeling lunge, gently moving the hips forward and downward to bring the stretch on through the front of the hip region here, and then raising the arm up on that side and leaning away towards the opposite side to bring that stretch up into the upper fibres of the hip flexors here, and holding that for a total of around 30 seconds for each of these stretches to maintain that position and get the full benefit. And then switching across to the other side, again bringing on the stretch across the hip region first, then raising the arm up on that same side and leaning across into the stretch. And a further variation which can increase the depth of the stretch is to then squeeze or contract your buttock muscle on the side that you're stretching for a few seconds. And then once you release, you will generally feel that you can move more deeply into that stretch. So the second stretch is for the deep hip rotators, which are muscles that can influence the pedalling alignment if they're too tight. So for this, we've got one hand on the knee and one under the heel or ankle, and pulling both the knee and the ankle across towards the opposite shoulder. Trying to keep the hips on the ground. And to increase the stretch for here, we would focus more so on trying to pull the ankle more towards the shoulder. So by increasing the rotation of the hip, we stretch those deep rotation muscles. And then same on the other side. As with the previous stretch, there is also the option to deepen the stretch by gently resisting the stretch with those muscles. So you try to push your foot gently into the hand that's holding around the heel and ankle, and then after a few seconds relax and pulling a little further into the stretch itself. So the third one is for the hamstrings, so the muscles at the back of the thigh here. And the position for this is quite functional for cyclists, so it emulates the position when you're in a nice low aerodynamic position on the bike, keeping your chest against your thigh as you move the hips back until you're feeling a firm stretch down through the back of the thigh here. And we're looking at holding again for a total time of around 30 seconds, and keeping the chest against the thigh throughout the exercise. And then for the other side, so again we're looking at moving the hips back, feeling the stretch through here, chest against the thigh. And to deepen the stretch again, you can gently try to pull your foot back along the seat surface for a few seconds and then relax, and you can move more deeply into the stretch. And you can also target different portions of the hamstring by either turning the foot slightly in or slightly out to get to those outer or inner fibres. So the fourth one is excellent for releasing tension through the back of the shoulders and through the thoracic spine. So hands at around shoulder width to begin, gently moving the hips back and letting the head and shoulders sink down towards the floor. Making sure that you relax your breathing with this one, particularly as you breathe out fully, you will tend to get the deepest stretch and release. And there's a few variations here also, so hands together versus hands wide will prioritise the stretch to different muscle groups, and also palms down versus palms up will also target slightly different regions. Whilst you're in the stretch also, you can move the shoulders across towards one side to increase the stretch around the back of the shoulder region there, and then similarly moving to the opposite side to increase the stretch into that region. And then the final one, which is more for the front of the shoulders and the chest and rib region, is in a standing position, hands to the shoulders, elbows close together as far up as you can, up in a big circle, reaching then around and behind as you extend the arms again. And we repeat this one essentially for around a minute, so you might get in 10 or 15 repetitions. And we're looking with this one to take a full deep breath in as you're raising the elbows to their highest point, and then as you reach behind you and extend the arms, completing a full out breath. So nice deep breathing, which helps to stretch out the muscles between the ribs to really open out the chest from that forward posture in the cycling position. And repeat again for around a minute's worth, circling out with a full deep breath. So all of these stretches are important to add into your recovery routine in particular, but if you do have the time, they can certainly be beneficial before a ride. And also important to remember that if you do have any injury issues, or if you're concerned about whether any of those exercises are suitable for you, do check in with a health professional to ensure that they're okay for you. Also on our YouTube channel here at Cycling Physiotherapy Centre, we've got individual videos with a number of other stretches, but those are the 5 key stretches which only take you 5 minutes, and hopefully you can add them into your routine. Thank you.